Welcome to New South Wales Ants. Today we're going to be feeding Hira for her first time, and also we're going to be checking out the nanitics of my Erydomixes. So let's start off with feeding Hira. Hira now has about 10 nanitics, so I thought it was a good time to give her a bit of honey or see if they were interested in some honey. I think after 10 ants or pupae harden, it's a good time to start feeding some honey to them. But going over to Hira herself, looks like she's heard the news about the honey. She's getting a little taste of it right there. And oh, there she goes, off to pursue it. Wait, nah, she turned around. These ants look so excited over just this little drop of honey that I've given them. Well, it's good that they're happy. About the species of this ant, I asked for you guys in the comments and you guys got back to me with Lazarus species. I'm not too sure on which Lazarus species, but it is one of them. So let's go for a close-up. Maybe someone out there could be an ant specialist. Maybe you guys could identify her species with this better footage that I've got of her. Check out that three-way feeding that they're doing right there. So this is my Lazarus species and she's doing quite well. So I suggest a Lazarus species for a first ant. I'll tell you what, but she was slow to get her first nanitics, and then they were fast after the first one came. But she's a very chilled queen. They're very chilled ants. There's been no problems. They eat when I give them food. They don't stress much under light or anything. So I like this colony. I might actually keep her, because you know when you have to come to that decision, what ant colony do I want to keep? Let's change the view, because sometimes we might not have space for all of our ants, and we only can keep selective species or selective colonies. So let me know in the comments, what is your favorite ant colony or ant species? Now we're going to be moving on to Sister 1 and her first nanitics. Sister 1 has been the slowest developing of all the Erydomix that I have so far. She has one hardened ant and one that's only just soft. She has a lot more on the way, but she looks very healthy, probably the most healthiest out of all of my Erydomix. Alright, now let me shine a bit of light on her, might help out. As a biologist, I can tell you this ant is black. I'm guessing it's an Erydomix species. I wouldn't know which of the Erydomix it is, but if it would be a wild guess from me, I would say the trail ant, so Erydomix bicknelli. But moving on, let's go to Sister 2 now. So I caught this ant the exact same day as I caught Sister 1. This queen already has 3 nanitics and 1 more hardening. She looks really healthy too. So these are my Erydomix that I'm keeping in test tubes. I've called these ones only Sister 2, Sister 1, Sister 3 because I'm not too sure if I'm going to keep them. But it's always good to catch more than one ant because you never know which one is fertilized and is going to lay eggs. Let's put some light on her now. Let me know if you think this is a different Erydomix species to Sister 1. I would be very interested to know. And if they are the same species, do you reckon I could put them together, or would they just kill each other? Because if I can't merge my colonies, I'm gonna have to get rid of some of them. But like I said, it's better to catch more than less, because you don't know if they're fertile or not. But let's move on to Sister 3. I don't know if you guys remember, but Sister 3, she had the damaged gaster. And now look at her, she has 6 ants. already. I didn't even think she was going to lay eggs when I first caught her. This is what I mean, guys, about catching more ants than you need. It's not necessarily you're going to keep them all. You can just release them or you can give them to friends. But again, if you guys think that this Aridimix species is different to Sister 1 and Sister 2, please let me know down in the comments. I'm very curious because I had some that killed each other when they're in the same test tube together. It was with the 5 sisters. They first started off as 8. So I'm very surprised she has survived this long and laid so many and done so well. But moving on to Survival Sisters. I gotta admit, I was really excited about removing that foil from the test tube. I wanted to find out how many ants they had. Because if Sister 3 had 6, how many did they have? So here are my Survival Sisters. Look at that. How many ants do you guys count? I want to know in the comments. I see about 15. Well, I guess 2 queens definitely makes a difference. Now, let me put some light on these guys. Let's have a closer look. I really like these 2. I think they could be different to my other Dark Souls that I've now named them. Let me know in the comments if you think the Survival Sisters are different to the Dark Soul Sisters. Because I don't know if you guys noticed this, but look how relaxed these ants are compared to the next ants that I show you. These ants are just really relaxed. You know, I've actually got to admit, when you get real close up like this, they actually look real cute. So this is the queen that has the damaged gaster, and she survived. And she's doing well. She hasn't been fighting with the other queen or anything. I'm actually surprised that they didn't fight each other, and I'm also surprised that the ants didn't attack the queen with the damaged gaster because she would have been weaker. But moving on, guys, I have a new ant that I caught. I do not know what species this is. I would love to know in the comments if you guys know. I've named her Little Girl. I'm thinking she could be a Lazarus species because she closely resembles Hera. But most difference is the gaster and her color. That is the only difference. So if anyone can give me a bit of a heads up in the comments on what species she is, if you do know, I would love to hear it. It was very hard for me to get a shot of her. She kept hiding. So this is probably the best view I could get of her until she gets a bit more confident. But she is a queen and she is fertile. She is laying eggs, so that's a positive. So let me put her under a bit of light for you. Here's another little angle. I don't know if this is any better, but that's her. I'm guessing Lazarus species. Let me know if you agree. And it looks like she's already got one little larva in the little corner there. So now we're going to be moving on to my Dark Souls, previously known as 5 Sisters. I don't know how many of you were guessing how many queens were going to survive out of those 5, but it was 2. And these ants really do not like the light that I'm putting on them. And they're very stressed out and they're running about. They're a lot different to the Survival Sisters. Let me know in the comments if you think that they're a different species, because I think that they could be. You have one of the queens running in and out of the test tube into the outworld, because I connected them to an outworld because I wanted to see if I put them in an outworld, they would stop killing the queens because they would have more space. You know, maybe the queens that were getting attacked would just run away, but they didn't. So I just wanted to try a little tiny experiment to see if you could have multiple queens but separate them if things got a bit, how you going? But no, it doesn't work that way. The queens would rather just sit there and die. But that was a bit of a learning experience. But what is this queen doing running in and out? It looks like she's trying to grab larvae as well. But look carefully guys, see that queen there? She's perfectly healthy and she has all of her legs, but then look, this queen is missing one of her legs. Do you think she lost it from one of the fights with the other queens that they were killing off? Or do you reckon she's next? Oh wait a second, that other queen's missing some of her front leg. Guys, I think these queens are fighting each other. I think there's only going to be one remaining out of this. Let me know in the comments what you think. Looks like she's missing some of her antenna as well. I guess trying to separate the queens with different nests does not work. It's like she doesn't want to leave the test tube, she just wants to run back in and start punching on again. I really hope these two just settle their differences, because this is not cool. This is like, I don't know, I feel pretty helpless watching these queens kill each other slowly. Like, look at them, they're missing limbs. I'm really just hoping that they're scared of the light and they're panicking, and those limbs were lost from the previous battles that they had with the other queen. That's all for today guys. Happy ant keeping, and to be continued.